In my right hand are 16 cartoon because last month we made the world's first damascus. And when we finished forging that pattern into this block, we asked you for your suggestions about what to make from it. And the response was nearly unanimous. We should make a Bollock Dagger. And I thought, well, bollocks. What is a Bollock Dagger? And so I started poking around the internet. And when I turned my Say search back on, I found that there's actually an incredibly long, broad, and meaty history about this particular blade. And so I hope that with this steel, we can do it justice and make one for the ages. We've got a lot of work to do before we can actually forge this into a dagger. And unlike some circumstances, in order to beat on this, I actually need it to be soft. So we're gonna light the forge. Currently 40 by 40, we're gonna make it 38 by 18. Perfect width, Jamie. Oh, about a millimeter too thick here. It's got a slight curve to it. There we go, that's better. Let it cool down slow so it gets nice and soft, and then it's to the mill.
We cut the end off first, just the tip.
It's actually not the tip, it's the other end, really. So we now have a relatively square rectangle that has two surface ground faces. Now the reason I've surface ground those faces is because we want a just gorgeously clean surface finish to get the best sticktivity possible in our forge weld. You remember, the way that those 16 willies are arranged in here, they're all on the end grain. You can only see them if you're looking down the bar. Well, that's no good, because when we get to making our Bollock Dagger, I want to see the willies on the blade. And so how do we get the end grain to show up on the blade? We can do that a number of ways, but today we're going to be doing it with the tiling method, otherwise known as the ferry flip or the Felicietti flip.
Fellatio flip, what?
Oh my goodness. In order to explain to you how this works, I'm gonna put the steel down and I'm gonna grab some wood. Ooh, and some protection. Pretend this is the steel with the willies running down it. What we now have is a rhombus, and our willies are here on these faces. All we've got to do is flip them over onto what was the side, flip it over, lay them together like this, and when we spank it from above with the big old steam hammer, those angled faces are going to bond together, exposing the pattern to the surface. Give a little cleanup on the grinder. We did a few test etches to make sure stuff was looking as we expected. And now I'm gonna get to flipping them up. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna rotate this one to the right. I'm actually gonna rotate this one to the left. Right, left, to the right. So we're gonna book match it. I learned how to do this from Dave Lish. I'm gonna lay them all down. Little did he know what hilarious projects they would be used for. And then we're gonna take the TIG welder, fuse up all the seams before we go into the forge, take it to Pound Town. 112 willies going in the fire. Good time. Looks pretty solid to me. It's now got to cool down so that we can grind down the seams where we TIG welded it. Look at that! Goodness gracious. Got all the seams ground out. Now forge it out into a dagger. Slow and steady, boys and girls. Ease it back down to some flat stock. Putting a lot of stress on those forge welds. Put a point on this puppy.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
What?
Don't hit it too hard, you'll end up with a deformed member.
Well, that's the whole idea. I've got to make the tip pointy.
I thought the end is supposed to be shaped like a bell.
No, a dagger has a pointy tip.
definitely looks above average for a Bollock Dagger.
We've worked on the tip, now I need to work on the tang. I have decided that I'm gonna let this thing be bigger than I originally intended. If you look at the drawing here, we've got so much extra material. I'm gonna let it be bigger. We spent a lot of time making this Damascus steel, so we're gonna show off every inch of it we possibly can. So I'm gonna take a couple of inches here, forge it into a tang. You know the drill, we've got to get it soft. It's quite flat, it has the profile that we need, and I think that now, before I grind on it any further, I'd quite like to get it hard. In order to get this thing hard, we've got to get it up to a temperature where it forms a structure called austenite, where the carbon in these high carbon steels can go into solution amongst all the iron atoms. That temperature is about 815 degrees Celsius or so with this material. Then we'll take it out of the kiln, quench it in the oil, and what that will do, it'll effectively freeze that structure in place. And that forms a structure called martensite, which is hard, a lot harder than the current structure inside it at the moment. But how hard is it?
Well, it looks pretty rigid to me. I don't know why it needs to be any harder than that. Mine has never been that hard in my life.
I didn't know you had a Bollock Dagger. You should have brought it in so we could see it. This is a Rockwell hardness tester. Pull this knob down here. All right, then I push this knob forwards. And that tells us it's 8 Rockwell, pretty soft. All right. That Bollock Dagger is starting to get quite hot, so it's almost time to harden it. Fortunately, my own bollocks are delightfully cool, and that is thanks to the fabulous underwear that I have filled my underwear drawer with and wear with utter delight. It's from MeUndies, and they're the sponsor of our episode, and I couldn't be happier because they make the finest breeches that I've ever worn. They're so good that I just have to show you. The fabric is oh so soft. There's a delivery driver, oh God. Their underwear is made from an incredible micromodal fabric, and it is the best underwear that I've ever worn. I'm incredibly picky, and I hate uncomfortable underwear, so I feel like I'm qualified to tell you that this stuff is the best. And back on the topic of hand, bollocks, you can even try their revolutionary ball caddy technology, where you can separate your willy from your bollocks with a handy-dandy little pouch. It's very comfortable, especially on a hot, sweaty day, and I hope that you try it. They've also got a range of great loungewear to try, as well as an entire range for the ladies out there. So please, go to our link in the description. Go to meundies.com/forge, where good things come in big packages, because you can get 20% off your first order and free shipping over $75 when you use code FORGE at checkout. Give your nuts the comfort they deserve. Right, let's harden it. Oh, straight as can be. That makes me happy that I quenched it before grinding the bevels. Let's see what Rockwell hardness this is after tempering. 58, 59, pretty good. That's the next step.
The bevels.
Yes, a little bit of edging. Probably gonna take a couple of hours, pretty long time, and then it's gonna be finished. I'm grinding a distal taper. So this whole thing is going to be thicker near the tang, thinner near the tip. It's now on to doing our hand-sanded finish so that we can get the best etch possible. We're going to start a little rough with the 240 grit. You can do it dry. Today, though, we're going to use a little bit of lube, kerosene, and oil mix.
I've never seen somebody do it like that before. You just do like a little patch at a time. Most people would do like the full length.
I mean, there's kind of like many schools of thought. Some people do like a full stroke while they're hand sanding. But I recently have been just doing little tiny movements, working on a specific area, and I feel this helps me really target the spots that need it.
Surely doing little bits like that takes it forever to be finished though.
Sometimes I think this helps speed up the process. Scariest part about hand sanding is when you think you're done and you then take it out into the daylight. The sun reveals all. Oh, some nasty scratches. I'm not done hand sanding. At last, it's time for the etch. This is how we are going to expose our fallacies. Would the plural be phalli?
You know that the plural of octopus isn't actually octopi, it's actually octopuses.
What? That's a letdown.
So it would be phalluses.
Oh, all right. Well, anyway, to expose them, we can't simply pull down a zipper. We have to etch it in an acid that is going to etch away our 1080 plain carbon steel and leave our 15N20, which is 2% nickel, alloy of steel proud on the surface where it can shine. And so this is some ferric chloride. We dip it. We make sure there's no problems, no spots where it has any oil residue or anything like that.
Why are you not freaking out how cool that looks? That looks sick.
And look how central it is as well. Let me tell you what, that's a lot of...
Do you like your coffee like you
Nice try, Jamie. It's been about 20 minutes. Time to pull out. Straight into bicarbonate of soda to neutralize the acid. 2000 grit sandpaper. Another gentle, oh so gentle, side to side. Wait till it's marinated in there for a day. Jamie, underneath this cloth is my oiled up blade, and you have not seen it yet.
How long was it in the coffee for?
About 36 hours. I forgot to take it out the next day.
Holy guacamole.
I haven't done an etch this good in years, Jamie. Next up is the handle. Now, the handle is the most important part of a Bollock dagger because that's where it gets its name carved into it. A pair of shining, voluptuous chestnuts sets this apart from any other dagger. Historically, the Bollock dagger was a symbol of virility, masculinity, and status, but it wasn't without controversy. Churches wanted to ban them. They saw them as lewd and vulgar, but that only added to their rebellious appeal. Now, though the handle is very important, it doesn't seem like there is a consensus on what the handle material should be. We see them made out of brass, we see them made out of wood. So I had a good rummage through my supplies.
What are you doing?
And I found this enormous hunk of African blackwood, but that's far too big for me. So I've got a piece that's a little bit more appropriately sized, Madagascan blackwood in fact, that'll do the job just fine. We need to be able to insert the tang in it. It needs a hole, it needs drilling. What do you think, Jamie? Is that round enough? Got it fitting. Now I need to sketch out on this paper exactly what the handle is going to look like, so we can unfold the paper and make it symmetrical. Oof. Maybe a little bit narrower here at the base. Maybe we make the nuts a bit wider. I think that's a bit better. No! Ah!
Oh, what have you done?
I ripped it off, Jamie! Oh.
Slow and steady, this is not easy at all. Like working proper 3D here.
Time for a little inspection. I've been grinding on this thing for quite a while, and though it might look like we're getting close to being finished, we do need to clean up some little bits. You see, a little bit asymmetrical here at this little crotch area. The actual balls themselves are incredibly difficult to get even, but fortunately, Mother Nature doesn't do a very good job of that either, and so we'll just say it's biology. I think it's time to move away from the mechanized grinding tools and move to the handheld ones. Jamie, can a man get some privacy?
You scared the crap out of me then.
That is one polished handle. Very, very polished. And now I need to get some notches in the tang so that the glue holds better, put an edge on the blade so that it's sharp before tang meets handle permanently. I'm chuffed to bits, and I'm really happy with the handle. It feels really amazing in the hand.
Does it feel familiar?
It feels incredibly familiar. Would you like to have a hold of my handle? What do you think?
It's bloody massive.
This, I think, is a Bollock Dagger to rival all Bollock Daggers, and for a tool that has such a robust history, that makes me quite proud. I don't think any blade in the history of the world has ever had quite so many penises on it. If you would like to get your hands on this Bollock Dagger, I am going to be selling it. It's on the website. And if you'd like the greatest comfort for your bollocks, please get the best underwear there is. It's today's sponsor, MeUndies. How lucky are we that they sponsored us doing something so silly? MeUndies.com/forge. Thank you all for being here. What a treat. Bye-bye.